Hi everyone, and welcome back to another hands-on video by Mirror Lessons. Together with the A6300, we also had the chance to test the new Sony G Master Lenses at the European press event. Sony introduced two highly anticipated f2.8 constant aperture zoom lenses and an 85mm portrait lens with a fast aperture of 1.4. During the conference, Sony insisted a lot on the resolving power of these new products, which is of only 0.01 micrometers. They have been designed for future high-resolution censored and 8K video. Sony also concentrated its efforts on the bokeh rendering. According to Sony, the new extreme aspherical element not only optimizes sharpness from corner to corner, but also reduces the onion ring effect in the autofocus areas. These three new lenses inaugurate a premium lineup within the E-mount system. They are a key strategy for Sony because the company wants to excel not only in the production of image sensor, but also optics. They also want to differentiate this new lineup from the lenses made in partnership with Zeiss. The G Master series aims for high resolution and a perfect bokeh, while the Sony Zeiss products focus on resolution and contrast. The 24-70mm 2.8 is a large and heavy lens. Its weight definitely unbalances the A7R Mark II. I was quite surprised to see that this lens, along with the other two G Master products, is dust and moisture resistant but not completely weather sealed. This is a little disappointing, especially if you think of the equivalent lenses of the mirrorless competitors. The lens doesn't include optical stabilization either, but that is less of a problem for cameras that feature 5-axis stabilization such as the A7R Mark II. The build quality is excellent. The zoom and focus rings were a pleasant surprise. They are smooth, yet very precise. The zoom mechanism is not internal, so the lens protrudes a little when you zoom in. On the barrel you can find the autofocus manual focus switch, a focus hold button, and a second switch to lock the zoom mechanism. The first shots taken with the 24-70 2.8 are very encouraging. The lens seems very sharp and the bokeh is quite pleasant. The shortest focus distance is 38 cm through the entire zoom range. On the downside, we can notice some chromatic aberration and barrel distortion at 24mm. Keep in mind that the lens profile is not yet available in Lightroom, which is the software I use to process the RAW files. The autofocus is fast and the motor is completely silent. I often use the IIF function on the A7R II to take portraits and it was precise most of the time. However, a few times it wouldn't lock or lacked precision. This could be related to the lack of a firmware update for the new G Master lenses. The update will be available in March. The lens also seems promising for 4K video, as you can see. The 85mm f1.4 is the lens that impressed me the most, especially for the sharpness at 1.4. From f2, sharpness becomes even better, and at 2.8 it seems perfect. The iris mechanism has 11 blades to enhance the bokeh quality, and the results are very promising. The autofocus circles are beautiful, with precise edges and uniform rendering. The bokeh is creamy and very pleasant. It really seems that Sony designed it to deliver the most perfect image a portrait lens can possibly deliver. The 85mm 1.4 is large and heavy as well. It unbalances the A7R Mark II a little but remains comfortable enough. There is an aperture ring that can be declicked for video use. I struggled more with the autofocus because the camera requires the firmware update mentioned earlier. It was lower during video recording as well. And speaking of video, the lens looks very promising for 4K recording too. Finally, we have the 70-200mm 2.8. Unfortunately, it was the only lens we weren't allowed to test. Here as well the weight is considerable. However, the lens is not that large in comparison to the f4 version. It is also compatible with two new teleconverters. Other lenses will be compatible with these two accessories in the future. The 7200 2.8 has interesting characteristics. The floating focusing system allows you to focus as close as 96 cm. The double linear motor for the rear group eliminates all wobbling issues. Sony is determined to chase the best image quality possible from both a sensor and lens point of view. Perhaps a final point we should raise is the size and weight. These lenses show that full-frame mirrorless cameras are not capable of offering compactness if you want a fast and professional lens. We saw it already with the 35mm 1.4 and the 90mm macro, and now the same rule applies to these new G Master lenses. Despite the loss of compactness, there are still many characteristics that will draw photographers to the Sony full-frame mirrorless system, such as the electronic viewfinder, 5-axis stabilization, and advanced 4K video. As always, you can check the full-size sample images on mirrorlessons.com. We also invite you to subscribe to our channel as more interesting videos are coming soon. Thank you for watching and see you next time.